All right. I'm here with
Look
my
at you.
purple music for you.
Oh man, purple's my thing, man. What are you trying to do to me? You trying to mess me up the rest of the day? Why you be acting like that?
Yes.
Don't be doing guys from Watts like that and ghetto. No, I'm just kidding. Compton, straight out of Compton. Well, at least it's not blue or red. At least it's not blue or red. Those are like fighting colors.
I love the music you always use in your lives, and also the music that you use for the stories. Thank you.
You're so
I love
sweet. It's
Dig
growing
it.
up in a musically dominated house from both of my parents who used to be nightclubbers before they became parents. So they had to curtail it a little bit by having nightclub in the house and used us as like stand-ins and bartenders. So they didn't go out and get drunk. They just went and hang out at the house. So thank you very much for being here because I wanted to spend time with you. As soon as I saw your page, I wanted to be able to ask you to join me and spend time because I know there are much more influential people that you can have contact with. I appreciate you allowing yourself to stoop down and spend time on my show and spend time.
Thank you for inviting me. I'm flattered and honored to be on your show. Thank you.
I want you to know that I have had so much feedback about you coming on the show. It's been quite interesting how many people were like, "Are you gonna have Grace on?" I was going like, "Yeah." It's like, okay. It's like you have indeed a groupie following that you may not know anything about, and I appreciate that you allowed yourself to come here for a little bit of torture. This is going to be torture for you.
Oh
it's
my
not
God,
going to be long.
I need some
okay.
torture.
All right. Okay. All right. You're saying that now. So let me get all my volumes right in here because I'm old and I can't hear. Hold on one second.
Oh, stop it.
Let's do that. I got to give my waves out to everybody that is coming back on, who were looking to talk to you. But I get to talk to you first. And the first thing that I want to talk about, because my shows are live, not scripted, you know that. Yes. Everybody that's been on. Hi, Ann. I know I'm not doing my roll call right now and saying hello to everybody, but I'm going to cut to the chase and get to spending some more time with Grace. So this is the way it works, Grace. And you're going to be the first time I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do it now because we had our pre-show. But what I decided to do when I woke up this morning, because I spent about 48 hours before I have to do a show with somebody, and they're really on my mind. You're on my mind anyhow. But so I decided, you probably can't see this too well from where you are, because today I wanted to do my little dark room looking nightclub thing. Now this is about you. Now I normally fill this stuff in. I kick it around before a few days before the show, and then I just set it aside because then I just go off the top of my head. I didn't put anything down here at all because everything is in my head. That's why I said this is going to be torture for you. This is as if we just met at Starbucks and you're going like, this guy is crazy. So here we go. Are you sure you're ready?
I already know you're crazy. So, hey, you're my kind of crazy.
Okay. Bingo. That's absolutely correct. Okay, so here we go. My goodness, I'm looking at everybody coming on. Okay, so here we go. First question. Okay. People have some serious issues when they meet other people and start relationships, and they go backwards. Sometimes there are people that should have no business talking to each other, other than acquaintances and passing the salt and pepper is about all they should be doing. But they end up, to the point of even having children. Relationships take a hit from people who shouldn't. They can maybe have a driver license, but they shouldn't have a marriage certificate. So tell us, as a relationship coach, as a person who's experienced narcissistic abuse, give some tips out as to what people need to keep in mind before they just start opening their mouth and opening their homes to people who probably are crazy.
Yes. Well, actually, the problem is that crazy people are the best in bed. That's one issue
Oh my goodness.
that we all have to get over. Okay. So that's one thing. So my suggestion is, and I apply that to my own life, is get to know the person first. And I know it's like
Yeah.
you want to like make out and get it on, but get to know the person first. Become friends first. You can make out, but like when you like jump into bed, then there's like a bond that just goes beyond. And then it's your hormones start kicking in, and you see the signs. Like that happened to me with the narcissistic abuser that I was with. The sex was amazing. So I was like, well, maybe today he's angry. Maybe today this. Maybe it's like, no, he's an asshole. But I was hooked and my hormones were kicking, so I couldn't get out of it. So
What was it
definitely,
that I'm sorry.
yes. Go ahead.
What was it that you didn't see that others need to take note? Because I get messages from people who are extremely young. My concept is real simple. Try to try to make sure you're courting each other and then get married. But some guys or women become very good in their self-absorbed narcissistic ways and
Mm-hmm.
camouflage stuff, and people don't always know the red flags.
Yeah.
What are a few of those that maybe you could mention? And by the way, everybody, if you want to get a hold of Grace, what's your page so people can talk to you or get consultation?
Sure. Grace Fraga Comedy. That's my IG.
Okay,
And my website is gracefraga.com or gracecomedian.com. And you can contact me there. There's a contact form that you can fill out.
perfect, perfect. So what are a few red flags that young women, young men who are embarking on trying to find a lifelong partner need to be really careful and be looking for?
Well, if you're dealing with a narcissist, and we're talking narcissistic personality disorder, we're not talking
Okay,
about like a selfie kind of narcissist, like we all are,
okay.
we're
Well,
all
we all,
about,
yeah, right,
yeah, there's a spectrum, right? Like in everything,
right.
there's a spectrum, there's no like black and white. I would say, for me, my personal experience, and I like to apply my personal experience because it's
Okay,
like
yeah,
almost like facts,
okay,
this is not like a textbook thing. So the first thing is the love bombing. Okay.
okay.
What that is they just tell you how wonderful you are and how amazing you are. And they just flatter you that you're perfect, and they seem to be perfect. So when somebody seems to be perfect, watch
Right, yeah,
out. Because
right.
that's okay. And they literally sweep you off your feet. And then once they got you, they're like, I'm going to play with you. And this is the tricks that they play. And this is like the major concept of narcissism. They love bomb you. And then once they get you, they gain your trust and they gain your, your ego is pumped. It's like, oh my God, I must be like super sexy, super amazing because this guy
Right,
is so
right, right,
into
right.
me, or this woman is so into me. So once they get you, then that's when they punch you in the face. Okay. And then you're like, oh, what just happened? Somebody, did you just punch me? And they're like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I love you so much, And so they turn it around, and again, they love bomb you. So 2-3 days go by, you're good. And again, the smallest thing will trigger them. Okay. So for example, I remember with my ex, I once left a cup of coffee. I woke up in the morning, I left my coffee cup like in the sink, and he was like, he got mad because I did not rinse it and put it in the dishwasher.
Wow,
Like blew
wow,
up like I had just killed someone. So
wow.
yeah, so they do that. So then they're like, I'm sorry, you're the love of my life, I love you. So it's a cycle. It's like a roller coaster.
Is
And
that
what
what you mean
happens?
when you say it's kind of like a punch in the face? It's like an emotional punch in the face that
Yeah,
they went from totally putting you on a pedestal to
yeah.
getting to that point where they now see you as just this huge imperfect person. No matter what you do, you can never make them happy. Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely. Yes. Thank you for translating my experience.
No, no, I'm talking. Hey, I'm talking to the guys. There's, you talk to everybody else. I'm just talking to the guys because we watch ESPN over and over in the sports shows. Our brain goes dead, so you gotta have stuff. We
That's
gotta have stuff
funny.
repeated. You're getting love on the screen, by the way. Right, by the
I
way,
love it.
somebody.
Hi, Chris. Hi. I can't see who else. I know my friend from high school,
Yeah.
Maria Rosa, because I'm from Argentina, so that's why I'm like, oh, Maria Rosa. She's
No,
here.
no, you're not. No,
Yeah,
no,
some of
no,
my
this is the,
people
hey,
are
this
here.
is the right speed. This is the right speed. But yeah, please show love to the people that came here. They're looking to see you and talk to you. And somebody's got something on the screen there. I need to turn this way if I need to see it because I'm blind. Can't. Somebody said that they can't stay too long. That's Chris. He's telling you that. Grace. He says
Yes.
hi. He says he's gonna watch later tonight this show. I told you people. I'm telling you, man. You have no idea. My DMs like blew up. I was going like as soon as I posted the commercial that you're coming on, they're like blew up and going like, "Is this the Grace and Grace is on Hulu and Steve Harvey?" And I was going like, "Yeah." And I don't spend that much time replying to a lot of people because I'm busy, and I was like, "This is really gonna be interesting." Everybody gonna because they want to talk to you. I'm just telling you that right now.
I
People
love
want to
it.
talk to you. So I just thought I'd tell you that. We may, depending on your schedule, when you're not flying around and at the White House and other stuff, I may have to be able to beg you to come back on again so people can spend more time with you because they don't
Oh,
want to see me. So I'm just giving you a
I
heads up. You were going somewhere before I threw you off that loop there and on my little squirrel tangent moment, but go right, go okay. So
don't
go,
worry.
long as you know where you're going, but people are trying to talk to you because they can't stay long and they're going to watch the show later. Go ahead. You were
Yes.
saying, please.
Yes. So the cycle of love bombing and punching in the face, and when we say punching in the face, it's not physical, it's like an emotional. Sometimes it can be physical.
Well,
There is
sometimes it
that
can.
kind of
Yeah. Right.
abuse. Yeah. So that roller coaster in it kind of in the beginning you're like, okay, maybe he's having a bad day. Maybe this happened to him or her. And then after like a few times, you're like, I think there's something that is just a cycle here, like a pattern that,
Mm,
catch up. And
right.
you're so deep into it that no matter how high your IQ is,
Mm-hmm.
your intellectual, your IQ, even your EQ, you have no idea what hit you. Okay. It's like you're going blind, right? Walking. And then all of a sudden a train hit you and it's like, oh, I didn't even felt like I was stepping on the railways, that kind of thing. Like, where did this come from? So the only way that I think we can all kind of pinpoint that we are in a narcissistic, abusive relationship is talk to someone else. Feel free to talk to people like you. You can talk to me. I have a podcast also called I
Yes.
Heart My
Yes.
Narc with a Broken Heart with Al Benet. She's amazing. And we talk about all this and you can ask us questions. You can ask questions right here. Reach
Right.
out
Right.
because if
Yes.
something, trust your gut. As I get older, I don't know about you, as I get older, I
Sure.
learn to trust my
Yeah.
instincts, which
Yeah.
when there's an alarm going in your head, like
Yeah.
this is not right. What the hell's going on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So
If
trust
a
it.
person, so if a, now I get a lot of messages from women and men who are in their 20s, sometimes in their teens, 20s and 30s, and they're starting a relationship. They met somebody, and they're totally ignoring what you just said, their gut, their instincts. They literally turn them off or keep making excuses when they see that this person has gone from putting them in this really elevated position and that they're so perfect and everything about them, every eyelash is absolutely perfect, to then they switch. So
Like
listening,
180 degrees.
yeah,
Yeah.
180 degrees. So listening to the instincts is really important. But what if a person is really good as a narcissist and they have the disorder and they're just camouflaged and they're good? What are
Um,
some what are some more red flags?
well, my ex was much older than me, so his experience
Oh,
was amazing.
okay.
So somebody younger, this is my experience. Like it's like anything, like a sport, right? If you
Okay.
practice, you're gonna get better. So
Okay.
the
All right.
narcs, they feed off of you. Then when you're like abandon them, they look for another victim, right? Because they're like predators. So I think that what happens is people get hooked on the emotional roller coaster. There's a hormonal reaction. I think that was what's happened to me, and also the sex, kind of like every time makeup sex, then
Hmm. Hmm.
you get hooked into it some more, right? So I would say to look for help when you feel something is not right in your gut, like this is not right, this doesn't feel right, this doesn't feel good. seek help, talk to people. That's
Did
where
they
I
give
got
you a
help.
bunch of gifts? Did he give you a bunch of gifts and try to shower you with
Not
stuff to kind of distract you, or is it just super cheap?
Yeah, well, mine was actually, he gave me gifts, but when they give you a gift, they make sure that they tell you they spend a lot of money and that,
Oh,
oh yeah, you're
so
special because I spent $500 on your laptop, bitch.
I may have
But
accidentally left the price tag on. Let me get that. Let me get that.
yeah,
One of those kind of gift givers. They're like, oh, did I leave that on? Oh yeah,
yeah,
that was really
yeah,
So okay, so I see. Their whole objective is to make sure you feel less than they are. Then.
absolutely. Because what happens is, this is what I found out during my 3-year relationship with this person, that they feed off your negative emotions. So that's why they need to stir shit up, right?
And
Oh, they're coming for me.
Somebody's
Did you
going to go
hear
pick
them?
up a. Somebody's
They're
going to go
coming for me.
pick up a narc right now. Is that how they go? No,
Yeah.
just pick it. Okay, so go ahead. Either that or they're leaving a narc. Go ahead. You were saying? Go ahead.
um. So,
Hey,
I
so
forgot what
wait,
my
no, wait.
train
I
of
got
thought.
no. Because see, everybody doesn't know, but we're spending a certain amount of time together today. So please, everybody's not maybe not be accustomed to me going this fast when I have a guest, but I'm going to do some quick rapid fire real quick. So get ready.
Yeah.
Here it goes. When did you meet this guy? What year?
Oh, 2009, and he was a
Okay,
known actor.
2000. No, don't get me sued. So in 2000. So in
I'm not gonna
2009. Wait.
say.
So in 2009, how would you describe Grace in 2009? Did she end up being with this guy? What type of woman were you then? Of course, you're not that person now to a measured degree, to a great degree. But what made you prey to that predator at that time? Describe that so for those women that are listening, they can get some sense of idea that they may need to maybe bolster up a few things and open up their intuition.
Absolutely, that's a great question. Um, what happened to me was that I did not know that I was a victim of narcissistic abuse as a child. I kind of knew that
Ah, okay.
one of my parents like beat me up for no reason for the smallest things, and then they, oh, I love you, So I had that cycle in my childhood. So what happened is I
Oh,
never
okay.
dealt with it. So when this person, this guy came to me, and he, first of all, he love bombed me. So all my, my ego was pumped, and I was like, oh my God, he makes me feel so good, right? So the hormones kicked in. And then when he punched, emotionally punched me, I was like, oh, this is familiar. And then he apologizes. I was
Ah,
like, oh, okay, he loves me. He just does
uh-huh.
this, he punches me emotionally because he loves me. So I had that weird PTSD trauma in my head.
But at
And
the same time, it seems familiar though, but it was
right,
just from a different person. You were
right.
accustomed to this emotional
Yeah,
abuse technically, this
up and down.
emotional roller coaster of
Yep,
going up and down, love, not love, love, not love. I love you not, I love you not. And so that was familiar to you.
mm-hmm.
I'm just curious to ask, at what point did you recognize something is not right?
Oh,
That was in
very interesting.
2009. So at what point did something get triggered, or was it a friend that came and told you, a family member? What happened to trigger you in a totally different direction to protect your heart and get into an emotionally safe place?
Great question. So the first time we moved in together, and 3 weeks later, he did the switch for the first time.
Ah, wow.
I
Wait,
hadn't,
3 weeks, 3 weeks, huh? Wow.
well, we had moved in together, so
He
we
moved
already
in.
had
I was gonna
me.
say moved in. Yeah, I was gonna say yeah, moved in.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah.
it's like you ain't going nowhere. So it's
Yeah,
like
exactly,
yeah.
exactly. I was like, I left my rent control apartment to move in with him, and I was kind of like, okay, now I'm stuck with this guy.
Wait a
So,
minute. Wait a minute. Nope. Wait a minute. I got two daughters, so this is the question. That well, hold on. Time out.
yeah,
You already had a place.
yeah,
It was rent controlled.
yeah,
A girlfriend, you gave it up. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You and my daughter, I'm eager, like, I need to talk to you, girl. That's rent control. You gave it up. Wait, were you
exactly.
in Cali? Wait, here in Cali? In California?
Yes, in California, I had a
Oh
great
my
rent
goodness.
control.
Oh my goodness. He must have been good. He must have been fine. I'm just messing
He
with you.
was
Okay, so
just,
I was just.
I don't think he was fine, but he was
Okay,
like a
yeah,
good, like a
yeah.
top of the crop narcissist.
Wait,
I don't,
so
listen, I
he's
don't
a
steer
top of the
wrong.
crop narcissist. I like he was. So there should be his picture should be at the post office. Is what you're saying? Then it's the top of the crop.
Yes.
Wait, so I know. I gotta ask. Okay, so was he? This is the question I always have to ask a female when they're on the show. Or was he cute? Was he cute? Was he
Uh,
fine? Wait, you
mm,
gotta let me finish now. Was he cute? Was he fine? Was he good looking? Which one of those three?
he was good looking and sexy because he was a
Now,
badass.
see, now you done put another word in there. See,
I know,
see.
but I had
So
to because
wait, so the sexy part is how the narc covers up who they are. See, they douse it with a little bit of like bacon. Bacon goes with just about anything. So this they cover themselves in bacon, and that's okay. No, I'm just messing with you. Okay, so 3 weeks later, he moves in. Or rather, you move in with him. 3 weeks, you're now in his cage. I mean, his domain. I mean, in his house.
yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. I let that slip out. I didn't mean to say that. So now you're with him. You're with him in his place. He's got this is all he knows. He knows where every nook and cranny is, and so you have to get acclimated. So he gets to watch you like you're in a zoo, like you're this new animal sniffing around trying to figure out where you belong, and he is in complete control. 3 weeks later, what does he do in that 3 weeks that kind of sends a little signal to your intuition? A little something's not right.
It wasn't a signal. It was a brutal change.
Wow.
He got jealous because I mentioned an ex, and he just said something completely rude, and it shocked me because he never ever said that. And I had a panic attack because I do suffer from anxiety, not a
Uh-huh.
lot anymore, but I used to.
Right.
And so I
Right.
had a panic attack, and I knew as I was having the panic attack, I was like, oh, I screwed up moving in with him. I'm
Yeah.
screwed
Yeah.
now. Like
Right.
that was
Right.
the first alarm
Yeah.
that I had.
Right. So now when he he did that, he kind of essentially start to let you know how this is going to go from here on out.
Yeah.
He was letting you know this is my territory, you're in my domain, this is how it's going to go. You're recognizing I need to make time go in reverse because this was not a good idea.
Yes. But then
But you
I gave up
but
my
what happened next?
bedroom apartment.
Yeah, of course you couldn't go back in that sense. So you decided to go along and stay there. When did you leave? What year was that?
I left in 2012.
3 years,
Mm-hmm.
approximately 36 months. That's a lot of time, but it's not a lifetime. What did you learn that's going to help you the rest of your life that you need to drop some seeds of truth to some of these young people that keep falling for the sexy and then the good looking? Don't stop sniffing for that bacon. They keep going for that bacon in their relationships. Well, maybe they need to eat something different. So, what can you say
Well,
that
first of
time
all,
period that you can
yeah,
help somebody with?
yeah, don't have pork because they junk, right? So you're eating junk,
So
basically.
that
That's what I'm saying.
somebody's going to contact my show that sells pork and go like, I didn't appreciate that comment about the other white meat. So go ahead,
Yeah.
go ahead.
um, so what to do? Well, I would say, first of all, when something doesn't feel right, just pay attention to it and definitely talk at least to a friend or to an adult that you trust. Because when your gut is telling you something's not right, look, I didn't even need my gut to tell me. I had a panic attack. My body was telling me.
Yes,
I
right.
literally panicked, like in flight mode, like get the hell out of
Wow,
here.
wow.
Literally.
Did you try
So,
to make excuses for him in your head and in your heart
oh,
to kind of like give him a chance and maybe he's just like low on sugar today or, or maybe he ran out of shaving cream and he just kind of grouchy.
yeah.
No, I'm saying I've heard a lot of different things that people have told me
Yeah.
that they have said to convince themselves, male or female,
Yep.
to convince themselves that this person is just having a bad day until those bad days add up. Like one
Yep.
guy told me, he started putting it on the calendar. He started putting it on
That's great.
he's going like, I know when the time of the month is, but this is a little weird. And he did. He kept it on the calendar for I think he said about 45 days or something like that or whatever. And I told him, so how did that work for you? He says, man, the next 45 days were just as worse, and then it kept getting worse. And so I was like, wow, that's just so. You had to have somebody telling you something was not right. Was
Well,
somebody mentioning it to you? Did you talk to anybody about it?
oddly enough, my mom, who abused me when I was a child,
Okay.
she was the one. This is the like the main. This is like the irony of it all. So my mom comes to visit, and remember I told you about him triggering like anger, being
Yes.
triggered
Right.
because I
Right.
didn't leave the
Yes.
we put the coffee cup in the dishwasher. Well, he started yelling at me, and my mom. This is my mom. This is him. He's like National Karate Hall of Fame, National Wrestling Hall of Fame. Okay, so this is my mom, this little Latina, and she was like, "You do not talk to my daughter like that. She's an angel." I was like, "Oh, my mommy is on my side."
Wait. Do me a favor. I think we got a show that we could do with that voice. We could just run a show. You know what? You could be the Argentina Sanford and Son. You could do it.
Yes.
You could be Red Fox and I'll be your son, and you can just talk to me like. But wait, you got to do that voice. I know you don't want to, maybe, but please, just do that. What did your mom say again? What did she say?
My mom would be like, "Why you doing this to my daughter? She's an
Oh my
angel.
goodness, that is.
She's an
I
angel."
I would have loved, yeah, I would have loved to have her in my corner if ever I was into a street fight. That would be like, that would be it
Oh,
right there. Dude,
you did not
seriously.
mess. Listen, my mom, I've seen it. This big guy who I never could shut up, right? He would just be
Right.
totally abusive. My mom was like, "My daughter's in it." And he was like this.
He was
This
like a
little
deer in the,
thing.
like deer in the headlights. Is it? He was looking like somebody trying to guard Shaq when he was trying to dunk on him. He was like, oh my Lord. So your mom came out and she stood her ground for her daughter.
Yeah.
What happened after that? What are some things that started to take place after that? Because this was while you were in that time frame of being with him, right?
Yes. Yes. This was probably 2 years into it. And my mom witnessed that. And, I used to tell my mom everything, but I never told her how he treated me behind closed
Really?
doors ever.
Wow.
Because I was embarrassed.
Wow.
It's very embarrassing. And that's another
Well,
thing
yes.
that,
Yes.
yeah, that people say, the
The
shame
shame and the
involved in
guilt.
it.
The shame and the guilt. Yeah.
And also, okay, this guy was a public person like me, right? So he would go out and cry. I'm not joking. Like he would go on the stage and be like, "Oh, I love her so much," and like, and so
Wow.
if I said he's an asshole, people would be like, "Oh, you are a bitch," because he's the nicest guy ever, and I didn't know how to handle all this. This was all like just coming out of the blue, and so after my mom did that, she knew what was going on, and she didn't say anything, but she kind of discouraged that relationship. But she knew, like, if she was going to bluntly say something, then I would rebel and be like, "Oh no, my mom said this, I'm gonna do it." Yeah. So
Yeah.
because there's an inner teenager that we all have inside, right?
So your mom, no doubt, made sure that you wouldn't go back to that poor water well
Yeah.
and end up being emotionally dehydrated. Instead, you moved away from him.
Mm-hmm.
At what point did you start to think to yourself, a podcast and talking about this was a good thing? Did it take a few years?
Mm-hmm.
Did some time go by? Did you then decided it's time for me to speak up and speak out and stand my ground for those who are still being abused in silence?
Yes, well, this was 2012. So when I left him. So after that, I dealt with the issues. I went to therapy, and don't go to therapy like for long. I do it because I think a lot. And
Yeah.
so I went a few times. I'm like, okay, I know what's going on. And I worked on myself spiritually, psychologically, emotionally. I really worked on myself a lot.
Right.
And I wasn't ready until I had all the information that I needed. And I also became a certified relationship coach, which added to the knowledge. So once I was ready mentally, emotionally, and spiritually to tell my experience and to want to help others so they can recognize the
Mm-hmm.
narcissist faster and they don't waste their damn time, because they make you waste years of your life. and they make you
And
miserable, and they suck your energy. They're vampires, and you can't see that, but
yeah,
they do. And when you leave them, believe me, it's like a big elephant just was lifted off your
wow,
shoulders, and you have
wow.
so much energy. I had so much energy, I didn't know what to do. I was like, where's this energy coming from? Because he's not sucking my energy anymore. That's what he did
So
all
wait,
day.
so this gradual, literally sucking of your emotional and physical energy and your mental energy, your creativity, he was taking that away from you over a period of time while you were together, and you never recognized it was happening, and now you're refreshed. So people do need to recognize that there is a way out and there's hope. There, in other words, there's light, as the expression goes, at the end of the tunnel, and it's not a train. You're literally coming out of a dark place.
Mm-hmm.
But coming out of the dark place, people do need some assistance, though, right? They need to talk to somebody and not
Yes.
feel that they're alone.
Yes. First of all, yes. The first thing is gut. There's something wrong. Then don't be ashamed or feel terrible about talking to someone about it. Because that was what's probably made me not do it sooner, because I was so ashamed. So just talk to someone. Don't worry about looking like a fool, because you're not a fool. They are the fool. They're the pieces of
Bingo.
shit.
Bingo.
Sorry, I'm gonna.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I
So
know. Hey, you know what? You did real good considering this is a family show, public TV, but it's okay. You're doing really good. I'm not
okay.
PBS. I'm not PBS. I'm not Disney, but I'm not the ghetto either. Well, a little bit. But what I was going to say is a little bit. I can't let go of my roots. But anyhow, what I was going to say
I
is,
feel you. Same
but,
here.
well, this is California Connection today, so I don't get a chance to talk to a lot of people on my show from California. They're from Zimbabwe, Ireland, and other places. So I appreciate you being here for the little time that we can spend together. But I got to say this to you. When it comes to the type of people you've got a chance to talk to see, to be of assistance to, is there some type of pattern that we can come as prey toward these predators? What is a pattern that we may be doing that can do it? Or is it our fault? Should
No.
a person be holding that shame? No, they shouldn't. Now, you said no. You please address that shame and that guilt so people don't think that they are the catalyst to this.
Of
What is some
course.
things they need? They need to be inspired. Give them some thoughts that you've experienced. You've talked to others. You've seen patterns of other things in people's behavior. I'm giving you a long question so you can have time to think about it. So if everybody's going, why does he shut up so she can answer? Go ahead.
Some of the things I'm trying to think, okay, if they blow up about something that is minimal, pay attention. Okay.
Don't
Because
ignore it. Don't
yes,
ignore it.
don't ignore it.
Recognize it's bad behavior,
If
unnecessary
somebody,
behavior.
totally, if somebody gets mad because you killed someone, okay, that's like, there's a, yes,
All right.
get mad.
Okay. I got to turn the lights off. We start talking like that because I don't want them to find me over here. Okay, go ahead. So if we
Yeah,
go to
but
that, if you're going to that extreme, but if we're looking at something minute,
minimal.
yeah, then
Yeah,
and they're blowing up,
yeah,
that's no bueno. That's not
yeah.
good. Okay, what
That's
else?
actually like one of the main things I look at in everybody, whether they're friends. I had a friend that blew up at me 3 times. I gave her 2 chances. The third one, I was like, listen, you're exhibiting narcissistic behaviors. I understand you learned them from your mom, but I'm not taking that. I am not accepting it. I'm rejecting it. And the next time you blow up, I'm out the door.
I have to tell you this. My daughters and I just had somebody tell us that they just did the exact same thing you just said. And we literally applauded her because she's been going through this with this person it's a friend of hers they've been knowing each other for a long time. And so she just kept forgiving her. She kept getting worse and worse and embarrassing her in public and other things. And so we were so happy that she said almost to the T what you just said. So this is something beyond, which is what I wanted to talk about with you about, and I'm going to touch on now. This is beyond just a romantic, intimate
Yeah.
life partner situation. We're talking about this could be a sibling. This could be, as in your case, a girlfriend, a buddy of yours. your BFF. This
Yep.
can take place in many different types of relationships.
Absolutely.
So go ahead, have at it. I'm gonna go
Well,
shuddy again.
no, it's
Go ahead.
okay. It's okay. No, you feed
You
me
the
with
diva though.
your,
You the diva. So go ahead, baby girl. Go ahead and do your thing. Go ahead. Go ahead.
but
Go
you
ahead. There you
feed
go.
me.
There
You feed me. Don't
I
worry.
can't do my head like that, but I got you. Go ahead. I look.
I'm from
I
Argentina.
look
We do
like
a lot
Gumby.
of things.
I look like Gumby. Yeah, I visit you from Argentina. Yeah, yeah. I only
Don't
got a
let the
little.
blonde hair
I got
and
a
the
little
green
spit.
eyes fool
Yeah.
you. Don't let this fool
Hey,
you.
I tell people that all the time. Don't let my blonde hair and my green eyes fool you. My hips don't lie. I don't know what I'm doing. But go ahead. You go ahead. You were
Well,
saying.
it can be friendships. It can be work. Your boss can be abusive, which is a little,
Okay.
harder to.
Yeah.
But you don't have to put up with anything, really. Nowadays, I don't care if somebody comes and says, "Hey, I'll give you your own sitcom," and they're abusive. I'd be like, you know what? You're abusive. I don't appreciate it. You can get the sitcom to somebody else because I am not putting myself through that again.
Yeah.
The thing is, once you're through it once,
Yeah.
then your antenna will be like, ding, 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 ding. You will catch. I mean, and you can't go too far to the other side where it's like, oh, he just yelled no, and or she yelled no, and she's abusive. No,
You're overly sensitive, but
yeah,
at the same time, we don't want to go that way. We don't want to be in a situation where somebody's trying to scold us, shame us, guilt us into over explaining to the point that now we're being abused again.
yeah.
So we have to be really careful with that from what I'm understanding you're saying. But I'm curious to ask this. If a person is listening to this or they're going to watch this later and they're recognizing that somebody is deliberately trying to shame them and suck their energy, be an emotional vampire, and take away their dignity, rob them of the self-respect that they need to be contributing toward to help that person along and show them true love. If they're recognizing this is happening to them, that they're being shamed, I'm just going to ask, what is the first or second thing that they need to do?
Well, the first one is recognize it, gut instinct. Second one is talk to a friend. Okay. Third thing, go to therapy and consult with the therapist. Definitely.
Good idea.
That helps a lot because they will be like, yeah, that's exactly what's happening.
Right.
The therapist, either the therapist or your friend, will encourage you to separate yourself from this person because they're destroying your life. They really do destroy your life. And the trauma that you suffer from it stays with you. It's really sad, but it's horrible. But anyway, there's healing. And the healing is, I think, which is the next step, is for you to have the tools to know what narcissistic abuse feels like, what it tastes like, what it looks like, what it feels like, everything. Just know exactly. And once you have that knowledge in your toolbox, believe me, when somebody approaches you with that behavior, you will spot it and you will be like, ding, 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 alarm going off. Okay. And that will serve you for the rest of your life, because a lot of people that suffer narcissistic abuse have been victims as a child of narcissistic abuse. So we're repeating the pattern. That's all we're doing. And by the way, this is another thing. Be careful, because when you're a victim of narcissistic abuse, you can go two routes. You can become the victim forever or the abuser, because you will mimic their behavior. So when you're a victim of narcissistic abuse, you gotta really, I watch my behavior all the time. Like, if I feel like I'm being a little bit a narcissistic abusive or whatever, narcissistic abuser or behavior like, I'm like, oh my God, stop right here.
Pull it back, rein it in, so that you don't start contributing to that type of behavior on the planet. Just kind of pull yourself back, some self-control, little love, little joy, little peace. You try to kind of calm yourself down. Okay, so that's good advice. Thank you so much. That's good.
You're welcome. Well, because you know what? I learned from the best.
Now, see, the bacon got you. See, that sexy got you. See, you need to be. See, no bacon for you. No. You know what? I'm sending vegetables to you because you're in California. You're not that far from me, so I can send you some vegetables. You just having a vegetable diet that'll keep you from a narc. And as soon as you smell bacon, oh, that's a narc. You know what? Everybody, that Farmer John's is going to sue me now. So who that guy Paxton talking about bacon? Put him out of business. Okay. So I have to ask you because I know you're going to have to go at some point because you have to get to the White House. But what I was going to say, no. Okay. The truth is, she's going to the Watts Towers to do a comedy skit in front of the Watts Tower with a bulletproof vest. But it's, I'm sorry.
Don't talk about bacon.
Oh yeah. Oh boy.
No
Yeah.
bacon jokes.
That's a mixed crowd there. Some will like it. Some will chase you out of town. All right. So I'm gonna get shot. So when it comes to comedy, there are many different types of comedians, but everyone has the same objective, which is to bring a little laughter and happiness to people.
Yes.
But behind the comedy can be a life that has been affected by a narcissistic parent, a narcissistic sibling, uncle, family member, whatever the case may be, or someone who is self-absorbed and abusive. But you still have found a way to make people smile. Just because someone doesn't like my show doesn't mean that I'm going to stay in bed all day. Just because somebody doesn't like your comedy doesn't mean that you're going to stay in bed all day. Right. I mean, I should make that face. That's the face I should make.
I would love to stay in bed all day because I'm lazy, but
yeah, but I was going to say that's a different reason. That's a totally different reason.
It's all different.
But I don't know why my servants don't know where my bed is. They never come and bring me breakfast. I know they're out there somewhere to bring me breakfast in bed, but they never seem to find my bedroom. Anyhow, so when it comes to life, you seem to keep making the comedy work for you, and you keep plugging along. What got you into comedy? Was it the family situation? What was it that motivated you? Or you just, obviously, you're a funny person.
Well, yeah, I get that from my dad. That's an inherited trait.
All right.
Well, when I was 12, I had a health issues that was a little scary. I'm okay now, obviously. And that made me really sad. And I think also at the time I didn't know like all the, not feeling loved, because you don't know when you grow up with a narcissistic, abusive parent, you really don't feel loved because they go up and down, they have that roller coaster. So you're like, do they love me? Do they hate me? Do they love me? So I never felt loved. And then I had this thing hit me at 12. So I was like really sad. And I was like, I'm a fun person. Like I love to laugh. I love to have fun. I'm very shallow. But I like to have fun, that's my main thing in life. That's all I want.
I'm sorry. You're the first I don't know, I've 200 interviews or whatever I've been doing in this short time I've been doing this. You're the first person came on and says, no, I'm a little shallow. So it's kind of like I threw the little in. So you need to do a show entitled I'm Shallow. I'm serious. Or you need to do a skit or you need to do a set that's called I'm Shallow. And just start listing out the things that are shallow and ask people in the audience to raise their hand if they agree to this. But you got to ask them something like, how many people like McDonald's fries? And you just say, and then how many people like, just get them to say like 3 things that everybody's going to agree to. How many like babies, how many like pets? And you're like, so how many of you are jerks? Just how many people raise it? I don't know. I'm sorry. Okay, go ahead. You were saying.
I'm shallow and I like it.
You say, oh my goodness. That's a shirt. Write a book about narcissism. I'm shallow and I like it. There you go. Yes, you do. And whatever you do, don't mention my name to it, because if you get sued by whoever was the narcissist you talk about, I don't want him to find it. All right. So comedy was from your dad. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I was really sad. So at 16, I was like, you know what? I don't want to be sad all the time and like, oh, why me? Why me? So the victim mentality actually kicked in, because it was like, why me? Why me? Why do I have this? So at 16, I said, forget it. I'm a fun person. I want to have fun. So I just decided it's a choice to be happy. That's joy is a state of being. Happiness is a choice. You can be happy in the worst situation because you choose to be happy. That's a whole different topic.
That's part 2 of our hanging out together.
Yeah, totally.
So wait, it's 16. You decided this not gonna work. I gotta be me.
Yeah.
No, I'm serious. You
Yep.
decided at 16.
Mm-hmm.
What was the roadblock of you being happy if you had to say a name or a situation or a person? Was it a parent? Was it a sibling? What was in the way of you that 16 finally kick started you? What was in the way of you being that person, that happy person?
I don't think there was any. I think when I had that health issue at 12, that's when I was like, what's happening?
Jolted you? It jolted you a little bit?
Yeah, it did. Well, 12 years old.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's very young. And but I didn't like the way it felt. Like I felt bad and like sad and why me, the victim mentality from, the narcissistic abuse kicked in with the health issue. And so I
Mhm.
was like, I don't like to live my life this way. So I'm going to choose to be
Okay.
happy. So from then
Nice.
on, I was
Good for
all
you.
about, yeah, like comedy, having fun, laughter,
Really.
and spread that. Obviously, I'm not, I'm always happy. No, I have moments when
Nobody is.
nobody is like that. But, and then,
Were
and
you
then,
just being funny? Were you just being funny, just walking around being funny, and then somebody went like, "Hey, do you want a gig?"
no, I don't know. It's, funny people, we're actually very deep, believe it or not. We have a lot of
Mhm.
depth, all of us. Well, some of us, some others are just not, but they're shallow and they love it.
I'm glad you don't say names, man. I'm sure glad. Okay, so so what was your first gig? Because I'm gonna lose you soon, so I'm trying to cram as much in as possible.
Oh, you're
And
so
so
funny.
what was the first gig that paid you? That
Oh,
and
they
you actually
paid
got
me.
that got buck. Yeah, not all that. Hey, not all that. Hey, you know what? I got somebody funny over here. Come over here and be funny. Go on, Grace. Come over here and be funny. That
Well,
actually gave you money, even if it was a penny, even if it was a chocolate penny. You
I
got
don't
paid.
I don't remember that far back.
Hey, you done made that much bank, huh? You don't even remember it. You done made
I think it was like a
you,
slice
you
of pizza and $5 or something.
hey, wait a minute. Hey, then we can do a show together because I can pay you like that too. I can pay you with a slice of pizza.
Send me some Dominoes. I'm getting
I see you
no
some domino.
bacon.
No, no, oh no, no bacon.
No
No, no.
bacon.
So when you got to the point that you were making people laugh, was there a moment where you were on stage or doing something that you just took a brief moment and looked at it and went like, "Wow, this is really happening."
As far as like
I'm
doing
sup-
what I want to
doing
do,
doing what you're doing. Yeah.
well, in the beginning, there's a lot of fear and also feeling insecure and like, oh man, I'm not funny or I'm not doing it right. Or it's a love hate relationship in the beginning, kind of like a narcissistic abuse thing. Uh,
You need to have a narcissistic abuse comedy set where
yeah,
you just talk about half of the audience will probably walk out though. So,
I know exactly. Well, I actually optioned a show to a producer about narcissistic abuse.
really good
Yeah,
for
but it's a
you.
dark it's a dark comedy. So
Oh, it's a
hopefully
dark.
we'll,
I was gonna say you gave it to a narcissist to produce a show for a narcissist.
no. Oh no, the producer is
No. Okay.
amazing. She's like
Okay.
the
So
opposite of.
that's
Um,
good.
but a lot of producers actually connected with it, and there was a
Yeah.
couple that
Cool.
wanted it, and
Nice.
so yeah, so no,
Hopefully it'll find some traction with some good
yes,
people and they'll put it out there. Then
that
you'll
was the
never then
main.
you'll never come back on my show then.
Oh, of course I will. Are you crazy?
Yeah.
Yes,
Sure.
just do
When
it right.
you're on the red carpet, yeah, whatever. Just lean in the mic like I tell people, "Hey Paxton, how you doing?" And then they walk in, go sit next to Tom Hanks, forget all about me. It's all right.
No, I'll
You
never forget you. Don't worry.
you that's a frightening thought. That's IRS tells me the same thing. The
I'll
IRS
never
goes,
forget
"I'll
you.
never forget you." Matter of fact, we know where you are. So I know for a fact
Yes.
that we had talked about you leaving at a certain time, and I do not want to be the guy that didn't keep my word to you. And I want you to
Oh.
go. And I always play a game. I always play a game with my guests so that people, excuse me, I apologize for right there, that people will fall in love with my guests, but I don't need to because people already love you before you ever came on the show from the
Oh.
messages that I was receiving from everyone telling me that they were looking forward to you being here. However, I am going to do something with you I've never done with anybody else. I'm going to play a rapid fire game with you in which you just have to answer real quickly because I'm looking at my clock over here and I'm going to have to let you go. So here we go. So much more I want to talk to you about, but like any other first encounter, I just have to be a good guy and wait. So I'm going to wait for next time, but I'm going to ask you 3 things. Here we go. Now, first one.
Call?
Wait.
I'm sorry, I got a call and,
no.
and I couldn't hear anything.
Wait. Here we go. I'm going to ask you 3 things.
Okay.
I've never done this before. This whole show has been on the fly. You know that.
Yes.
So here we go. 3 things I'm going to ask you because I always like to play a game with my guests before they go. So she's going to go in just a little bit, but she's with me right now on this last bit of this so-called Instagram date. Here we go. Ready? First question. Grace is your name, but if you had to describe yourself to someone who has never met you before, what 3 words would you use to describe yourself so they will get a good idea of the woman behind the name?
Warm, compassionate, and fun.
Wow, that's really cool. Seriously, I didn't expect that. That was good. That's absolutely correct. I would have described you too the same way. So warm, compassionate, and funny. Is that what you said?
Fun. I'm fun.
Oh,
I don't know about the funny because that's
okay.
Subjective.
That's subjective. So. Okay. So to me, you're funny. So warm, compassionate, and fun. All right. Now, second question. When it comes to being warm, compassionate, and fun, if you had to describe them in a 1, 2, 3 order, which one would you consider to be number 1, number 2, and number 3 that which is a stronger quality? Warm, compassionate, or fun? What would be 1, 2, or 3 if you had to categorize them?
I think in that order. I think unconsciously I did that in that order. Warm first.
Yes.
Because I heard that a lot and I feel I want to give warmth to people.
Yeah.
Unless they're narcissistic, then it's cold like ice.
You start pulling it back, shutting the doors, pulling up the moat. You're like, no, beep. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, warm, compassionate, fun. If you had to describe, last question before you have to go. If you had to describe Grace, who you are, in a scenario in which would describe your warmth, your compassion, and your fun, give us an example of how you are warm, compassionate, and fun, which I think everybody's going to agree you are. How is it that you are this person?
For some reason, I always have friends that when I'm friends with them, they have some kind of medical issue or they have to take them to the emergency room or visit them in the hospital, which I make a point to do. I am warm because I project warmth to them and compassionate. I think warmth and compassion go together. So if you're compassionate, then the warmth is going to come out, right? So I'm compassionate, but at the same time, I go there and like sneak a donut, or do something fun and try not to get caught.
I'm going to fake sick. I'm going to fake sick and tell you what hospital I'm in just so you can come. Yes. I'm going to probably be sitting in the lobby, but you can still bring me a donut. Okay, so that's funny. That's fun. That's cool. That's really cool. I have to tell you this. I'm going to add something to that I feel that I recognize about you. I don't say it for you to agree with it. I'm old enough. I don't care if you agree with it or not. I just feel even when we did the pre-show, you are a lovable person, but you're a very loving person, and it shows in your eyes that you're a loving person. So I'm not disagreeing on the warm, compassionate, and fun, but if I have to say from when I initially met you and we talked a little bit in our few seconds of talking to each other visually, and then we came onto the show, your eyes are the same every step of the way, whether you're talking about the narcissist or the other. there's a ripple effect that comes out from your eyes. The underlying thing is you are a loving person.
Well, thank you.
So no
Wow.
matter what has happened to you, no matter what navigations you've had to make to move to where you are now, you have not left that lovable part of you. You are a person that anyone would truly appreciate loving and having them in their life and as a friend, not just because you're warm and compassionate and fun, and I think funny too, but you're also a person who wants others to feel love. Not that there are people that are not like that on this planet, but there are some that are self-absorbed that are like that on this planet. They want all the love for them. They want all the toys and love for themselves. You're not like that. And I appreciate you enduring and enjoying and all the above and hanging out with me today. And I want you to know, don't change a step that you're making about who you are as a person. And it's obvious you survived any type of narcissism that started with you and pounced on you and tried to destroy you. But do me a favor, please, don't forget me in my little hole in the wall part of the planet talking about narcissism and other things. I will keep an eye on your career. I have to say, I didn't know you existed, but now I feel your presence. And you're making the planet a better place when you keep being a warm, compassionate, fun person. But lead with that lovableness and that loving that's in your eyes. Don't change a thing. Just be yourself. And I appreciate you doing what you did today. I know what we went through to finally do this at the beginning of it. But hey, thank you so. Wait, hold on. Wait, I get to play with my toys here. Hold on. Thank you so much. I have nothing to do in my life, so I gotta. Thank you, Grace. You're the best.
Thank you.
Everybody, please go to Grace's page. Oh, man, thank you very much. By the way, are they sanitized, by the way? Because don't give me that if it's got COVID on it. So, all right. So, what? Oh, my goodness. So, look at you. You got your sanitizer. Okay. So you're a fine example for all of us. And thank you for this California connection. I got to pull the feed now so you can go do what you got to do. Please be safe. I'll talk to you soon. You're the best.
Definitely.
Thank you for doing this.
Me on your show.
No.
This was so much fun, and I hope and pray it helped even with just one person. It's worth the fun hour, because this was fun. This was fun.
I'm telling you this before you go. I'm looking at my DMs during the show. Trust me, people who were looking for you to come on, who didn't know you, now know you, are telling me they appreciated your straightforward conversation. Is what one of them said. They love that you were just straightforward. It wasn't overly clinical. They could understand it. They could relate. So you're relatable, lovable, warm, compassionate. Man, your head's going to be so big. I'm out of here. Thank you very much. Stay the way you are. Appreciate it, Grace. We'll talk to everybody later. Thank you, everybody. Love you guys. Bye.
Bye. Love you guys. Thank you.